Hello, hello, near and far, everyone. We are embarking on episode 77 of the Seller Club podcast. And before we do, let's go ahead and drop that beat. Hey, guys.
Hello.
Yo.
This is
How we
like
doing?
at least our 77th conversation. Isn't that exciting?
At the very
Number
least.
77.
Yeah, I
Very
mean,
least.
definitely not all of our conversations have been on air, so it has to be some number that's higher than that. But it is wild. I cannot believe we're like encroaching upon 80 right now. It's crazy.
We're almost there.
It's May already.
Yes.
Which is great.
And now we're ready to just completely dominate summer.
That's right. With the summer surge, as we already
Yeah.
After the
Summer
last
surge.
episode, we should determine it if we're gonna dominate or we're gonna let off the gas. We control
Hey.
our destiny.
I think we're going to dominate. I know another thing we had kind of talked about last episode was about like seasonality and some of the things that we've recently sold. And since then, between these two episodes, I had my highest sale ever on eBay, and it was a giant like Antarctica style parka. So yes, you can still
Jacket,
sell
yeah,
winter
jacket.
clothes right now and outerwear. It was awesome. I was super
Well,
thrilled
it's
to see
not
that sale come out.
summer in the North Pole. It never
No.
is summer in there, so.
You know what? I'm not. I want to say it went to Minnesota, but I'm not entirely sure. I can't remember. But yeah, just keep on putting good inventory in your store. Is basically the moral of the story.
Very true.
And Glenn, how's sales been? How's whatnot been?
Whatnot's actually been pretty good. The eBay side did kind of fall a little bit. So I think that has to also do with just me not getting as many items uploaded as I should. So that part I need to, improve on. And right now, like my inventory, my storage is kind of a mess because like new stuff has been coming in daily, and I hate having it like this to where things are just everywhere. Like I have to unpack, I guess, the new stuff. Kind of like I want to get it organized, and that's where I need to catch up on. It is.
Yeah.
it
You
is
need like
bad
an
right now.
extra business day to just organize things. I'm
Well,
kind of in
yeah.
that boat too. Like I'm in the middle of listing like, I don't know, probably 70 or 80 things today, and like I'm trying to get it listed as quickly as possible, which means after the fact I have to go back and do the bin assignments, and I'm always like,
Yeah.
ugh, like now I have like
Yeah.
a whole other job after, but at least it's available to buy, so
True.
it's okay. But not to pick on you, and not that our audience can see it, but even your background right now looks a little more disheveled than usual. So I feel like that it's just
Even
a
my-
picture of your life right now. I see
Exactly.
boxes that are not normally in the background.
Yeah, my face it's disheveled and hair. And
I didn't mean your
background.
face. I said background. Background.
okay.
That's
Yeah, everything.
foreground. Come on.
Okay, yeah, everything's a little wild right now.
But
So
anyway,
we gotta
I
catch
feel
up.
you on that one.
Well,
That's really funny.
and also recently, just got back from another trip again. Just been organizing and helping another reseller organize their warehouse. So that's been like the project. And currently we just got done dropping off our packages and back to listing. So we kind of have
Nice.
about like 50 units that's supposed to go up. But I kind of like agree. I mean, I'm the same boat with Glenn. The traffic has kind of like slowed down, and I guess part of that is a lot to do with just listing, just products that are going up listing. But really hoping to get more deals and buy more inventory and start listing them again. So
Yeah.
that is the goal. That is the game plan. But
Well,
also talking about current events and current news. Anna, why don't you just give us the rundown of what happened at the latest eBay summer seller check-in?
Yes, totally. Yeah, I would call May kind of summer, like maybe the end of May starts to feel like
Right.
summer, pre-summer, right? But definitely in line with just everything we've been talking about of having a successful summer. We did get to attend this. It's a totally virtual event that eBay hosts, multiple times a year for sellers, specifically to kind of catch us up to speed on things and answer questions and teach us stuff, which is always helpful. So I just want to review a little bit of kind of the highlights as I saw them. But basically, it was great to hear some like kind of higher level updates. They definitely talked about tariffs, and the biggest standout thing to me about that was just another reason to love eBay International Shipping, which is the love of my life, as I have stated previously, because they are, recalculating things on our behalf as needed. And that's just another thing that we don't have to like actually deal with the headache of changing as things are like in flux right now. And I have still been selling lots of stuff international, so have been having a fair number of see you never packages, as I like to think of them, because they can't get returned, and I love that. So anyway, that was interesting. That's a hot topic right now across the board, and I was glad that eBay like said some stuff about it. And of course, it was neutral stuff, like politically speaking, but it was just like the small business side of it, right? Like, what do we need to know as sellers? How is eBay handling it? What are they doing on our behalf? Like, all that was really helpful to hear about. We also got to hear some overall business updates from Shouty, who is awesome. She's like the VP of selling, like, period, which is huge and so fun. And we've had the privilege of getting to know her and talking to her before. And so it was cool to hear from her also just about, different stuff that eBay is working on. One thing they mentioned that I thought was really interesting, that other platforms and websites have done similar things, but is eBay's rolling out a certified open box program. So if you meet, certain criteria, some of your electronics and stuff can come with a 1-year warranty that's paid by eBay. So that's pretty neat. I know there's like, similar kind of programs around. But it's cool that eBay is doing that. I thought, wow, that's like kind of...
Yeah, it's like another step up of their refurbished program.
Yes.
Right? But so this time it's like open box. So I think that open box is actually a better, it's basically never been touched,
Yeah,
so
totally.
It's a cool feature for that.
I 100% did just order what was supposed to be an open box electronic from another platform that shall remain nameless, and it was definitely broken and damaged when it arrived at my house because someone else had definitely used it and messed it up. So I was like, this is not open box, guys. This is not like new. This is actually broken.
Used. Oh, yeah, not even...
No, yeah, it was totally misrepresented, and I sent it back. But that was not eBay, so I will say I would expect better from eBay, honestly. And I love that they are doing this to help build more trust, right? Mm-hmm. This whole entire thing runs on a lot of trust, and that is hard to come by sometimes, so I appreciate that. I also thought it was cool that they actually did some Q&A. So they had, if you registered for this event, hopefully you did. If you didn't, definitely register for the next one. In the registration, they asked about questions that you would like answered by eBay, right? Or by people at eBay who have the relevant answers. And they actually tabulated a lot of that and pulled out some of the most popular questions. So that was kind of interesting too, just to hear like, what did this group of, a few thousand other sellers that were attending, like what did people want to know about the most? And one thing that was really popular was about using product research, using video. And I know a lot of people in the chat were like, let us do video on mobile. Like, it's not available on mobile yet, I guess. But I don't know, because I never use it. but they talked about that. So they talked about seller news, which is like the new kind of seller newsletter update, medium that they have now, which is great from seller community. But anyway, it was just really cool. I hope that they do that at every check-in, because I think that was a neat way to actually hit on the things that people are caring about the most. And they said, we got over this many questions about this subject matter, so we're going to answer and kind of describe a little bit about that. So that was really neat. I think that was still Rebecca and Shouty who were doing those Q&As. And then another thing that they talked about was the up and running grants, because applications are open for that now. We will definitely be talking a little bit more about that. I think you guys both know this, but I don't know if our whole audience knows this, but I was actually a grant winner in 2021, I guess. And that changed like kind of my life. So
Yeah,
it was a
bet.
really big deal for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, and it was honestly, the money was awesome. It's like $10,000. And I think, I'm not sure if it's exactly the same as it was in 2021. We are going to do like a deeper dive on this and have the actual details for you guys. But it is like a lot of money for a small business.
Right.
And it super helped me just expand and scale. It was at a time that I was really super scaling up my business. And I would definitely argue though that everything else that came with the grant and being in that cohort of grant winners changed my life more than the money changed anything. Like, the money was amazing and I definitely used it like, wisely, and kind of did like some really key things with it that I otherwise would not have been able to do at the time. But it was everything else that came with it. So I'm not going to say too much about that, but just to say that during this check-in, they were kind of promoting that program. They're doing it again. It's 50 winners. Mm-hmm. And I love that they made a point to say that even if you have applied before and you didn't win, apply again. And I just want to echo that from the rooftops, because I didn't win the first time I applied. I won the second time. So it was completely worth the 20 minutes to fill out the application. It is so legit. And trust me, there is way more than just money that comes from winning this grant, right? Like, the whole, like, I would not be doing this podcast or part of the community at all if that hadn't been a thing. So that was just, so like,
join. Everybody join.
Yes, go and apply. You have absolutely nothing to lose. Yeah. So that was like really great, and we will talk more about that. Also, just wanted to shout out to our friend Glen McKee from eBay Ads. He gave the greatest talk about ads, and I would really encourage you, if you had registered for this event, go back and listen to what he had to say if you haven't caught it, because this is like the spiel about ads that I wish every single seller could hear. Like, we have talked to Glen in person about this numerous times, and it really, like, for me, it really helped me see, oh, this is not a one size fits all approach. This is like when we say, like, eBay Ads is not just like another grab for cash from you. Like, it's really not. And he explains why it's not, and it makes so much sense. So anyway, just go and listen to what Glen had to say about that. That was a super great, concise, approachable presentation of like what it's all about and how to use eBay Ads in a way that makes sense for your business and actually benefits you way more than the little bit more fee that you're paying. So anyway, the big send off of this event, the Summer Seller Check-in, was, of course, announcing the details of eBay Open in person, which is in fact going to be in Las Vegas at the Venetian, August 12th through 14th. This is a new
12 to 14 at the Venetian. So they've always used to do it in Mandalay. So this is a new venue. So this is exciting.
What was the response? What was the chat saying with that? Or were they shocked? Were they excited? Did they?
I don't think people were shocked. I feel like people were like, yes, I thought it was Vegas, or I was hoping it was Vegas. Yeah. I saw more of that
everybody
sentiment.
Was like, I knew I was right. Kind of like Vegas was their choice.
And like,
I guess Vegas. It's like a cool hangout spot already too, Everybody's ready to have fun. And I guess also too, it's like because eBay hasn't done anything big in Vegas in a long time. Oh, well, besides any other smaller meetups. But they haven't really conducted eBay Open again, so it being Vegas like feels nostalgic.
I think it's gonna be amazing, and I will be the first to tell you guys I'm definitely gonna be there. Are you guys gonna be there?
We'll be there.
There we go, Kenny. We're working on it.
Glen we'll find a way. Glen gets there
to get on there. Surprise!
I feel like Glen has to like play hard to get about this. Like, maybe I'll be there.
Yeah,
we'll see. We'll see.
We gotta reel him in.
Yeah. We'll have somebody pick him up.
Like, we'll either we'll either have to like make it a surprise that you're there, or just clone you, because you have to be there one way or the other. So we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, but it is going to be awesome. They didn't say a whole lot of other details about it, but those are the main details that to make plans everyone's been waiting on.
They did say that. I think, was it sign up or tickets gonna be available
later this month? Yes, registration. Yeah.
And I mean, given the last registrations, it sold out, so it's gonna be exciting.
So get ready to hit that button to register or whatever. Okay, well, that's enough of me flapping my gums. The actual topic for our episode today, that wasn't it. That was more of just an update. But Glenn has the topic. Okay, and as per usual, I don't even know what it is. So
no, of course not.
Whenever Glenn has the topic, those of us who like to plan don't get to know. So
exactly. All right, so we got a true or false niche edition.
Oh,
for today's show.
Bitches are in the niches, true or false?
Exactly.
That's what it is. Okay,
we're saying true. Yeah, so this is gonna be very interesting because obviously we have very niche based on my store. I feel like Ken's a little both. I mean, because he could sell free people to you, and then he could sell you kicks the next day, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like Anna, of course, miscellaneous. You can sell anything. So we're kind of all, in between and everything, all three of us. So I think it'd be a very interesting conversation on these true or false and how we believe. So I think we have 5 total. So let me give you the first one. True or false?
Can we explain our answer?
Oh, yeah. You definitely got to explain your answer.
That's going to be really
just
short
like, true, next.
We don't explain.
True, next.
Yeah.
Get to the next one. Okay. Selling in one niche, true or false, is easier to source. True or false? Selling in one niche. Easier to source. Kenny, answer.
True.
Anna?
False.
Oh, I like this. I like where this is going. Okay. Kenny's
Anna has to explain.
On purpose. I don't know why you're laughing, Glenn. This is what
Anna has to explain her wrong answer.
You just want to hear my answer first so you know what to say in response.
No. I'll go.
Okay, tell us why selling in one niche is easier.
In a most simplistic way, it is easier because there's less options. Meaning, let's say, a store, right? Let's say I sell electronics.
Mm-hmm.
There's less places I can source electronics. Let's say shoes. Let's say, I'm just niche guy. I'm just Nike store everything. So I could count it. You probably could count it in your hands how many stores, right? You could go Ross, Burlington, Nike Outlet, Foot Locker, Finish Line, and that's it. So
thanks for making my point for me.
It's easier.
It's easier. Anna, go ahead. Anna looks like she has like this ready to just dominate.
She's got an ace card or something like that.
No. I think it's very poignant because my argument is exactly the same. There's fewer places to source when you're looking for one specific thing. Like, I was going to ask you, Ken, from your house in like a 20-mile radius, how many places are there for you to find the things that you want to sell in that niche?
Like 4.
Okay. So for me, there's like 20. So
Yeah.
it sounds
More
like if
options.
I was going to go out today and go sourcing, it'd be easier for me to go find anything than to find one thing.
Well, yes and no, because it's not like you can go to all 20 spots in one day. If we're just ending our day in one day, then
You could, though. If
having
you're not
more
finding
option,
anything, you just move
you
on to the
cannot.
next one. Instead
Yeah.
of, I have all my eggs in these 4 baskets and none of them have anything today.
yeah, it's easy. So if you go out and you don't find anything, it's easy.
It's so
day's
easy to
done.
find nothing.
My day's done.
I love it.
But you did limit me to radius. So that's
Yeah, I
when
did.
that's
But,
when
like,
that's when the
You
hustle
can't
comes
time travel,
in.
so you are
You
limited
cannot.
to radius.
Oh, I
Because
can.
it takes you time to
I
go
can
further
travel.
radius.
I can travel. I can
You
travel.
can, but it will take you more time and effort and gas. But
100%.
I will yes and no myself for your benefit here too, because like if you're looking for things that are of higher value, for example, like there's no guarantee that because I have 20 places to look and you have 4 places to look, I'm going to find that valuable of things.
Yeah, that
And-
is the caveat. Because
Yeah.
you could go against value and volume, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's both hard, I guess. But
Right. It's kind of like how do you define it being easier? Like, what does
Yeah.
easier mean? For you, it's like it's simpler. There's not as much like.
yeah, that's kind of like how the
Yeah.
easy means for me. It's simple,
But it could be a
right?
simple goose egg.
Yeah, or it could be like, oh, $100 shoe right there. You know, like it's like
Right.
you could see it, right?
It's like more concentrated.
So yeah, that's I think two good takes. I think two good takes that there's easy means there's a lot of options, or easy means it's simple. There's not a lot of decisions.
So, Glenn, are you going to take sides?
Yeah, so in this particular answer, I believe it is actually easier to source when you're doing more of a miscellaneous thing. The reason why I say it's
You have
easier,
done both.
Yes, the reason why I say it's easier is because you do have more options to hit. Like if you want to do the garage sale thing, if you want to do the I don't know, like swap meets and things like that. If you want to do the thrift stores, if you want to do Facebook Marketplace and source on there, if you know what you're doing and you know what you're talking about, which you may not be an expert in everything, but if you have a general
Speak
idea
for
of what sells
yourself.
well
No, just kidding.
and what sells well,
Definitely not.
I believe it's easier to source, multiple
That is true.
just stores and locations and things that, if I'm looking for a specific thing, I may not ever find that at a thrift store or may not ever
Yeah.
find that at a garage sale.
It's like
But
it's more accessible
when I was doing the garage sale stuff,
in a way.
yeah.
Like if you're just like,
Yeah,
I have
definitely.
to find things today, then you will more likely find
All right.
things.
Would
with
you
more-
agree if you're early on in your reselling, right? I think that's the most valuable option. That's the easiest to do,
Yeah, for sure.
right? Anybody earlier on. But to scale after 4 years, you gotta be able to pinpoint and niche down somewhat, some way to actually. Because now I'm thinking, okay, like the amount of money you'll make, right? Because we
Yeah.
never
Yeah.
talk about the amount of money we'll make. Because we
Yeah.
can everybody source everywhere.
Yeah.
Don't mean we're gonna be able to, So yeah, I agree. I think there's levels to it for somebody that's kind of like, if your time is limited, I say like you have to spread your sourcing up. Like you have to go to different stores, and you can't. It's hard to niche down if you have your time is limited, because it takes more time to find kind of like the gems, and location, like Anna's mentioned. If I have to drive further, then sometimes I might not be back within a day.
So I'm totally standing by my answer that it is easier, but
Yeah.
I'm also going to say the next step from that is, but easier isn't always better. Because even in, like, Ken and our conversation about
Yeah.
if we had to start over, right, how we
Right.
do things differently, one of my top things was, like, I would basically niche down, even across multiple niches, right? I would just
Right,
get
right.
more specific and more focused way earlier than I did.
Yeah, cause niche down doesn't mean like items. It could be price, right? Like, cause let's say
Yeah,
I sell
right. There's all
$5 items
different
to $500
criteria.
items, right?
Yeah,
You could
totally.
niche down to like, okay, my minimum is $30. So that's kind of like how I niche down so fast early on, cause my $100,000 strategy was like buy for 20, sell for 60. That was it. If it didn't fit there, I didn't want it. So that could be the niche down.
Well, it's kind of funny because it leads into our second one. So true or false, selling everything and anything on eBay means your operation is more complex. True or false? Selling anything and everything on eBay means your operation is more complex. Kenny.
I'd say true. It is more complex if you anything and everything
on eBay. Anna?
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Oh,
It's more
all right.
complex.
It
in
is.
the boat.
I hate to say it, but I agree.
No,
All right, Kenny,
no.
go ahead. Tell us why.
I mean, it's more
Just think about the
complex.
boxes.
Just
That's all
boxes,
that's
like,
all you need
that's-
to know. Yeah.
the packing and kind of just like the estimating how long it'll take you to ship, right? Like if I'm looking at kind of like my operation now, I only have 2 boxes of shoes and everything's polybag. Like
Yeah.
it's hard for an order to hit my eBay account and be like, oh no, I don't have that box, or oh, I need to pack this, or I need to have X amount of time. So I'm gonna just keep it on the shipping department, and I'll give the others to Anna.
Oh yeah. Totally. It's just not as streamlined. The level to which you can streamline is just lower. Because across the board, from listing and
From
knowing
listing,
about
yeah.
category specific stuff to
Storage.
even like photos, right? Like
Yeah.
how big is your photo booth set up, and how are you storing things? Like, yeah, for sure. I just think everything about it. I mean, that's honestly one reason I have started kicking certain things out when I'm sourcing things I would have probably otherwise picked up. Like, unless they are super worth it, like
Right.
demand and like price wise,
Value, yeah.
yeah, value wise, I'm just not going to pick it up anymore because it's preventing me from streamlining further.
Right.
So yeah, I think it is more complex, which in some ways gives you more opportunity, but that comes at a cost. So sometimes it is worth it and sometimes it is not. Just because it's more
Yeah.
complex doesn't mean it's more worth it.
Yeah. So, I mean, I agree. I think it's definitely more from selling,
What
like...
if he disagreed with us on that one?
I know.
That'd be scandalous.
I know. Selling Disney statues and stuff already was,
Yeah.
like, from the very beginning of, like, garage sale stuff. That was, like, probably one of the
Disney
bigger items I've ever sold, and had to get that shipped out. And even taking the photos was...
Yeah.
kind of rough too and weird, and just trying to figure all that out. I mean, everything that's random, it's definitely going to be complex, from, like you guys said, photos, the listing, the weight of this item, shipping it out, the box of the item, everything that comes with
Yeah.
it. All right, let's get to the next one. Selling in one niche on eBay can be kind of boring.
Let's define niche.
Let's define boring.
Is that category?
I mean, it could be.
Right.
Yeah, I would say category. I mean, for the most part,
Yeah. Can be boring.
selling in one niche on eBay can be boring. True or false?
Well, true. I don't know why I almost said false. True.
True. And I
It is
said
true.
true. Kenny,
I was
It
like,
is true.
fuh,
It is true.
true.
It is
it
true.
is. Oh, Kenny said true.
It is true.
Okay.
I'm just
Uh,
thinking if selling in every niche can sometimes be boring, surely selling in one can sometimes be boring.
Yeah, in one niche is boring because, and this is my reason, because if you have a lot more constraints, right? If you have a niche, like just say category, I'm only selling footwear. Yes, there are brands, right? Different brands, but also like what the strong brands are. Like for example, I have pledged to myself and JC that we're not picking up Allbirds anymore because they suck.
I just got some at a yard sale.
No, well, that's different. Like retail are Allbirds.
Yeah.
They're just not, because like for
Just
some
not
reason
there.
I think the boat has sailed on that brand, and there's way more discounted rate. Before, like people only bought that for retail, so now there are other avenues where they could buy it, and I think I bought 5, and every time somebody made an offer, it was like insultingly low, and they always say like, I can buy this here for 30% off. So I'm like, whoa, and that was just me not knowing about it. So yeah, it is boring at some point, because it seems like you have to sell the same hot thing over and over again. Even if it's the same iPads, it's the same thing, there's not much to it, right? Especially if you're super niche down, all you're dealing with is just sizes and quantity. You know, like that's
Yeah.
it. Like
It's so human nature though. It's just like, okay,
Yeah,
so once you've
that's
like
true.
habituated to something, you're like, what else?
yeah,
is
unless
there?
unless I'm Glenn, boring might be fun for him. Mister Consist. If I'm Mister
Mr.
Consistent,
Consistent.
I
And
think
it's Captain Consistency.
Anna, what do you
Thank
think?
very much. Oh yeah, boring.
Oh, okay. No
Totally
explanation
boring.
why? Or you're just piggybacking off of Kenny's?
I just, as a person, am easily bored, and that's one thing I actually love about having very miscellaneous inventory is that it is always, not always, but like there are more novel experiences, and also I get to learn a lot. It's like I get to learn about stuff I wouldn't otherwise have ever encountered, you know, and it's interesting. I like
agree.
history. I don't know. It's just like there's a lot more involved that is interesting to me as a person, other than like I like the different stuff itself. It's all the stuff that comes with it.
After Glenn's steak, I have something to add on to this. Go ahead, Glenn. Is
Okay.
it boring?
Well, my answer was actually going to be false. So I don't know if Ken should go.
It's false. No, go. You go. You go.
So my answer is false because I think the statement should be, it is boring if you're not excited about the niche.
Oh.
But your statement was it can be boring.
Oh.
Can be. It can. Doesn't mean it
Can.
is.
Okay, it can
It
be.
can. You know I'm gonna pick apart your verbiage. Okay?
I know.
Like,
You're going to pick
you
up
know
my,
me.
my English language.
Verbiage don't count. Verbiage don't count. And
it does.
Yeah.
That's where all the meaning sits. It matters.
So, I think that, anything can be boring.
Yeah,
Yes,
right.
That is true. Anything can be boring.
If you had said it is boring, I would have
Oh,
been like,
okay.
no, absolutely not. That is an inside
So
job.
we have the
whether
same
you're bored
answer.
or
We
not.
have the same answer.
Oh, okay. What was your add on there, Kenny?
My add-on was to kind of like combat the boringness. You can still be under same niche, but you just have to explore further, maybe dive in deeper to a point like, let's say like you're you have a master's degree in finding, Nike basketball shoes. But exploring deeper would be having another master's degree on Nike soccer cleats, and then Nike golf shoes, and there's so many more within a category. So unless you stop intaking more knowledge, then there's a high chance of it being boring. So
I think so too. It's like curiosity kind of has to drive the bus, whether you're selling across a bunch of different categories or not. And you're going to go like far and broad, or you're going to go deep.
deep,
right?
Yeah. As long as it doesn't wreck your process, right? For me, that's my mentality. Is as long as it fits in the box, literally in the boxes that I have. That way, I don't have to go out
Literally
and buy a
15 by
different
10 by 6. If it's in there, we're good.
So I have a 15 by 10 by 6 and a 18 by 12 by 6. So those are the two. That's why I bought some ice hockey.
Blades.
What do you call those?
Oh,
Blades?
you're not supposed to.
You
call them
cannot
blades,
use
right?
blade, Glenn.
It's skate. It's
You
a
know that?
skate. Yeah, it's a skate.
Ice skates.
Ice skates.
I got zeroed for the word blade.
Oh, I don't
Too
like
dangerous.
But the cool part about Vero now is they don't delete it. They just put it on like under review.
Yeah, so you can
They have
adjust
an
it.
under review, so you could change it.
That is cool.
But that was the one thing that didn't fit in the box, and but it fit in two boxes because you just put them against each other.
Okay.
So it was still fit in the box, but if I didn't have anything that fit it, that would have been annoying because now you gotta make custom box, or you gotta go out buy a Home Depot box, and that's when I now start recycling boxes. Now I kind of learn from Anna a little bit. Like if it's a bigger box, it's like,
How kind of you to admit it.
yeah, put that in the garage. So now my
Right.
garage is a mess.
I do that. I collect all kinds of boxes, and then about once a quarter, I'm like, okay,
Purge it.
I'm purging
That makes
these.
sense.
I haven't used them yet. I will get more. I just can't keep them all around anymore.
So we're down to the wire. We got 2 left, but this one I think is really good. Selling everything and anything on eBay is less risky financially. True or false?
False.
Selling everything and anything on eBay is less risky financially.
False.
True or false? Okay, Kenny says false.
What do you think I'm going to say, Ken?
By now, I'm thinking you should say false.
You want to tell me my reasoning? Yeah, it is false.
Okay, Kenny, why?
False on the caveat of you have to have at least $200,000 listed. That's it. Because it's very risky if you only have 50,000 listed on a very tight niche category. Because then the sell-through of that item is not you don't balance it out. Let's just say, okay, I'm just a sneaker seller. And what if I only sold Jordans, and then the Jordans right now are at its lowest? That would hit me hard. But also, I'm not, I'm a quote unquote sneaker seller, but I sell running shoes, golf shoes, soccer cleats, and that. So it doesn't affect me as much when certain brands or styles go out of, the trend. One of the others will pick back up. So that's why, when they say you're a sneaker seller, it's different from just saying you're a Jordan retro seller compared to what if you're a single brand, single style, what if you're only selling Adidas Yeezys right now? You're toast. You're gone. You're your business upside down. Or what if you only sold what if you only sold Panda Dunks? Because they were $350 at one point. You bought, 500,000 pairs, and then now they're $60. You're done. You're so I would say it's not as risky as what people think, because again, if you're not selling in that category, you're gonna think so extreme niche down, right? But niche or category is not really that extreme, because even if you say footwear, there's a million kinds of footwear. You just have to kind of balance out against the brands, and it won't be that bad.
Anna, what do we think?
Answer.
Yeah, I think, really the word I'm taking issue with is. Because it depends. It really depends. I think that, for me, selling miscellaneous, selling not in any one category, that is a way of diversification, but just like Ken just demonstrated, it's not the only way to do diversification. And I think pitfall of doing that for most people, including myself, who has done lots of experiments over the years, has purged lots of stuff from her store in the last couple of years, is that whatever deep knowledge about something you lack might be costing you opportunity, right? So maybe, I don't know, maybe you have really regular sales, but maybe they're they take longer than you want, or they don't sell for as much as you want because you're not as deep in the knowledge of every single category that you sell in. Now, there's always a balance, right? On either side of that, there's a balance. So you have to figure out what rhythm kind of works for you. But yeah, I just don't think that inherently having a whole bunch of different kinds of things all by itself is what makes it less risky.
Yeah,
I think diversification period makes it less risky, but that's only one way of doing it, and it's not necessarily a surefire way of doing it either.
No,
if you're not doing it well.
It could be a true statement that diversification is risky because then you're not expert in any of those.
Yeah, jack of all trades, master of none. Yeah.
Yeah, so then you're just you're taking a way lower ROI, or you're selling low profit items because they were easier to get.
Right.
And it could bite you, because then there's way more then you're running a really complex operation.
You are, but you're never bored, which for some people,
Yeah.
pointing at myself here, is a very high value.
Keep making boxes.
Right.
I guess I look at it.
You're intimately familiar with so many different shipping services. It's not even funny.
All of them. I guess I'm looking at it as like a buyer perspective, and if I have, okay, let's say I did have a bunch of Yeezys. I'm sure I can sell those Yeezys a lot quicker than a bunch of random stuff, though. Would you
That's
think
true.
that, Kenny? Let's say if I
No,
was
100%.
really down to where like I needed money now.
Yeah.
I mean, you could take whatever offers you want on Go and StockX. You can sell them starting at $1 and whatnot. Now, if I have, let's say, like a little bit miscellaneous from a little bit of everything, and let's say I have like a instrument, I have a tuba over here, and then I have like a
Oh Lord,
I
don't
don't-
ship a tuba.
I don't-
Woof.
so random stuff. I feel
Yeah,
like it'd be
yeah.
a little bit harder for me. I mean, that doesn't really, I guess, make sense from like a, I don't know, financial situation to where I'm
Yeah,
making
it's hard to
profit.
liquidate it. Yeah, it's hard to liquidate, because then I have
Can
to sell
confirm.
it. I have to sell it to Glenn. I have to sell some to Anna. Like now you're having to like piece it all out rather than like, hey, I have all brand new with tags T-shirts, all brand new with tags hats. Then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I'll take all at $5 a piece or $20 a piece. So then I think also that's like easier
Like
to
wholesale?
negotiate. Yeah, wholesale it out. Like so you could do that. I mean, if you're really in the end of kind of like financial struggle or you're about to lose money on certain items, you could still liquidate it.
Yeah, I guess what I'm looking at it from the statement was saying like financially, I guess,
Yeah.
and that's what I would say. You can try to get that money back,
Yeah.
or at least partial, or at least most, or maybe even
Yeah.
half, if you needed to get it back.
Well, it's
quicker.
hard to lose money. It's hard to lose money.
Or
If-
maybe
if- yeah, it's hard to lose money or half.
Yeah.
Well, and we talk about this all the time, and we certainly didn't invent it, but like you make the money on the buy. So
Yep.
if you
No.
bought it cheap enough, like there should be a scenario where reasonably you really can't lose, even if you only make your money back, right? Like you've lost your time, I guess, at that point. But
Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I have one left, and this one's kind of like I'm trying to like get this statement correctly so that
because I'm gonna pick it apart. Sorry.
I was trying to like word it right, and I don't
Yeah,
even think
Glenn,
it
you
even
might have
comes
to
out
run that
right.
to chat GPT.
Send it to me in the chat. I'll
I
word it.
know.
Can you rephrase this so Anna Mussolini cannot tear it?
Yeah,
It's impossible.
Exactly.
Impossible.
So, yeah, I don't even know how to word this right. Okay, true or false? Selling in one niche increases your potential of competition.
All right, Anna, correct the statement if it needs to be corrected. Can you
I'm
explain the
thinking about
statement? Can you explain the
Yeah.
statement, Anna? In a
So it increases selling in one niche increases your competition.
Yeah. Or potential for competition.
That's really interesting.
We're trying to stump
think
Anna
there's
here.
I don't think there's anything wrong with the question.
Oh,
No,
oh,
yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Is it like
It's a
is
good
it-
question.
It's a good question, but can
It's
we
a
be more
thinker.
specific on the earlier end? Selling means like, am I like gonna dominate the space, or am I just gonna be an average?
Let's
dude?
say listing. Let's say listing in what is it? In a niche, or is it not in
Listing?
a niche? How was
Yeah.
it phrased? Say it one more time.
selling in a niche.
Selling.
Yeah.
Increases your competition. Potential for competition.
Potentially, yeah.
All right, I think the statement's fine. I think we
Okay.
could.
What does
read it
Kenny
out.
think?
Yeah.
You think that's true? False?
Ooh,
They're a little stumped here.
I know, cause I don't want to be too like complex on my explanation. That's what I'm trying not to. I'd say true.
Okay.
I'd say true because there's some YouTubers that ruin the market.
that was the point I was getting to.
Side eye.
Like, so yeah, true. Because it's when you talk niches, you have these marketers that target niches and categories, so it's easier for them to ruin. And that's what I always say, right? Gary Vee said this: anything good will get ruined by marketers eventually, so you gotta move on.
Rude.
Like, and then there's just gonna be competition's gonna get fierce, and if you don't have brand recognition, it's gonna be a race to the bottom price. So yeah, it is true.
Okay.
But
Anna, I think it's a great explanation there.
I heard a butt. What was your butt?
But it doesn't mean that I'm gonna rise above the competition. So that's my take.
Yeah. Okay, one more time for the good listeners. What's the question?
Oh man, true or false? Selling in one niche can hold on.
Increase your potential for competition.
Yes,
But
right?
yeah, potentially can increase your
competition.
Okay, so the word potentially makes me say, like, well, of course it potentially does.
Yeah.
But I think that actually needs to be in there because really, ultimately, my thought about it is it super depends on the niche. Like, how hard is it to find stuff in this niche? Like, I live in a house that was built in 1908, and we have an antique bead curtain called a portiere. There's like two on the whole internet. Well, if my niche is portieres, like, am I going to have a lot of competition just because I sell in that niche? No.
Good take.
Because it's really freaking hard to find them. So what about, and maybe Gary Vee is right. Maybe eventually that will be ruined. But it super depends on also, like, the demand and, like, the availability of the stuff in that niche to anyone, right?
Well, let's give it to a point that livable income. Because if that's too niche that you can't really live on just
unless I sell
that.
one a year for $100,000.
Right.
Which
so,
they're not worth that much. But,
yeah, so...
But yeah, like...
That's kind of like... That's going to that level.
Yeah.
But some would be too broad, but what would be the middle on your end? Because, like, it could be like... it could be just, summer clothing. Could be that it, but then it would be a seasonal thing.
Here's why I think it's true. Because let's say you're dominating, especially like something like Amazon, you're dominating in one niche to where like you created your own product. And who's going to find it first?
Yeah.
People that want to copy your product, slap their logo on it, call it their own.
It's not even a good logo.
Yeah, and they're trying to outrank you. Why? Why? How did they figure out your product was doing so well? Because they're constantly researching these products.
Yeah.
And if something is selling well, I want to create something that's going to go against you, even though you were the first one there. And I also want to sell and make money.
Yeah. No.
So
that was the same kind of like idea with like the Amazon merch, Glen, right? They'll just tweak one of your designs and undercut you, and you're out.
Yeah,
eventually.
Exactly. It's the same thing as YouTube. I mean, when I forgot this guy. He was like the first one that I really saw do like unboxing Amazon return pallets or something like that. And once like a big YouTuber caught on that these are doing so well. That big YouTuber made even more ad revenue, more views, more subs, because they noticed it was doing so well.
Yeah, because somebody, any big, has big following, has a big budget, can just swoop in and
has the word hacks in their name.
Yeah, imagine if like Mr. Beast finds out reselling, and he'll just make a challenge.
Someone should tell him. Have you heard of reselling?
Yeah, have you heard of reselling?
Have you heard of Ross?
No, I'm busy private labeling everything.
Yeah. Dude, the dude would just buy a Ross.
Oh my gosh.
He would just buy Ross and make
Source
a
it.
challenge out of it,
Yeah.
and source it.
Would it be just like Beast dress for less, or would it be Ross Beast for less?
Dress for Beast.
Dress for Beast.
Yeah.
I like Dress for Beast.
Yeah, I like Dress for Beast.
Yeah. Imagine doing that, and then he'll just create a Ross video, and everything's just staged because he owns the store.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, that's what we need to do, Glenn. You want to pop your store back up? We'll just buy one store, and we'll just we don't even have to buy a Ross. We'll just rent a space. We'll just make it look like Ross.
Well, like Big
Ooh.
Lots, those have been going.
And
out.
every time you go in this warehouse, we'll stage it, and you just get millions of views.
I mean, Spirit Store, they get into these locations all the time.
Yeah.
How do they do
So we
that?
can definitely do it. I don't know, they're quick.
They're so quick.
Anything that has an opening that's like a pretty good square footage, they're in.
Yeah, whoever their negotiator has to be really good. It's like they go in, it's like, oh, that's been empty for 6 months. Let me use it for 2 months, and I'll pay you.
And then I'm
after."
gone.
Right.
Yeah, right.
I'll be back
yeah.
next year.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Because they're gonna find somebody that's gonna say yes to a cheaper rent,
Yeah.
right? Because like, oh, that other store, we can go back to them for $2,000. You want to beat their price?
Yeah.
1,900. We'll go this year.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that's so cutthroat. Though.
It is. These guys are on top of things. Because also they bring foot traffic all the time because it's like
Yeah.
Halloween. So like.
Yeah, they'll bring value to the store next door.
Yeah, exactly.
Or they could be like, hey, Ross, I'm going to bring Spirit Halloween next to your store. You pay the rent next door.
Because we're bringing you the foot traffic.
Yeah.
I love this idea.
Dang.
That's what we need to do.
That's true, man. Spirit's so smart. And they're even doing Christmas ones too.
What?
Yeah, they do
Christmas,
Christmas ones.
Spirit
Halloween.
of Christmas?
Yeah, like once
Is it
Halloween's
Christmas
done.
past or Christmas future? Which spirit of Christmas is it?
That is
that's
true,
true,
huh?
that's
They
true.
should just convert it, right? And that would eliminate Michael's and all those
Hobby
other-
Lobby.
Yeah,
Well, Joanne's is
Yeah.
already gone.
Oh yeah, Joanne's is
yeah.
gone. So
Rest
once
in
Halloween's
peace.
done, they just start bringing in the Christmas stuff.
That is
Oh my
so
gosh.
smart.
Yeah, and then they're gone in January. So
Then they just stay for February.
That is wild.
Valentine's
Spirit of
Day.
Valentine's Day. Spirit of St. Patrick's Day.
No,
Spirit
there's they have to. There's something about short term for them that really makes them
Seems
that
like
much
it's
money. Huh?
working.
Yeah, you know what I like about
It's
that,
working.
Ken? You can chill all year until it's time to shine. Oh, Q4? Oh, okay, we're ready.
So you're saying we need to design our store just Q4?
Yeah, I like that.
The Q4 store. Can that be like a Seller Club project?
Q4
We should do
store.
that.
The
We'll have an
Q4
eBay store and
But
a
only
whatnot
in Q4.
and whatnot account that just goes live for 90 days.
And
love
then you're
this
just
idea.
you're just ghosted all the other. They don't even know you're even still around by the time that it comes around again.
Yeah. Well, you start in what? October, right? By the time November, you already built your following. And then you just sign a 3-month discounted contract with whatnot.
And then you're just gone. See you
Yeah.
next
See you
October.
next Q4. Dude, that is a good life. We need to that is a topic. We need to design the good life.
The
What would our
Q4
store
good life,
would be?
where
Yeah.
you just get to chill most of the year.
Yeah, or if you wanna you pick. You grind Q1, Q2, Q3 and take Q4 off. Or vice versa. You grind Q4 and then take the rest of the year off.
Okay, we'll think of something. That's our next topic. We'll figure that out.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like this idea.
All right. Anything else before we go? That was all 5. I mean, you guys
Wow.
knocked them
No.
out. So
So okay, last question. True or false?
Uh-oh.
here we go.
Niches is the way to riches.
Oh.
Oh.
Kenny. How dare you? It even rhymed.
Anna,
I have to
answer.
go first. You know what, Ken? I'm going to throw you a bone. I'm going to say yes, simply because you said niches, which is plural, which means as many niches as they want. 27 niches
Dang,
is the
Glen.
way to riches.
20
Got 'em.
seconds. She tore the statement apart already.
Yep.
Thanks for giving me a loophole there. I appreciate
Got
it.
it.
Glenn.
And I agree with that.
Glenn, true or false?
I feel like I'm winning. Why do I feel like I'm winning?
I know, because you always tweak the statement.
Well, be more specific.
That is true. Well, that is it for today, guys. We just want to huge shout out to eBay, the sponsor.
Hope you had
of
as much
this.
fun as we did.
I know. Hope you had fun. Make sure you follow eBay for sellers to keep up with all the updates that they're doing, and also make sure to keep an eye out for eBay Open when they sell the tickets. Hopefully, we'll see you there in person. Follow them on Instagram at eBay for sellers, and also other sponsors, Seller Ledger. Make sure you follow them on Instagram as well. We will see you on the next episode, and peace.
See ya.
Bye-bye.